Hello and welcome to today's baking and decorating. Today we'll be making two ingredients that help with baking. So the first item is going to be a simple syrup that's going to be used in cakes, and today we're going to be dipping some fresh fruit into the simple syrup to decorate this store-bought cake with. So the first item will be a simple syrup, and the second item will be a caramel sauce. So I'm going to start out with 1 cup of water, measured in the wet ingredient measuring cup, and then 1 cup of regular white granulated sugar. So make sure we have an even cupful. As always, make sure you start anything in the kitchen with clean hands. Make sure you have your safety measures in effect. Make sure you have parents' permission to using the stovetop. So we're going to make a simple syrup. You just use equal parts of sugar and water, and you bring this to kind of a light boil to dissolve all of the sugar. So both ingredients combine. And you don't want to cook it too long because that will turn it into a different, you just want to make sure it's mixed well enough and hot enough to dissolve the sugar, because if the longer you cook sugar and water, it turns into different types of candies. So this one is the lowest form of just a syrup. So runny, still in a liquid form. Many bakers use simple syrup in between their cake layers to keep their cakes moist for a longer period of time. So if you are baking a cake ahead of time, you're needing to freeze it, and then when you bring it out, you can put a simple syrup on, and just adds moisture right back into the cake. Helps the flavor come out. So we're just going to mix that until it dissolves. This one looks like it's dissolved. It didn't need to come to a boil at all. I'll just give it about 10 more seconds. And then as soon as we're done making the simple syrup, we will let it cool, and then dip some fresh fruit into the syrup. Alright, I think that is good and ready. I've already gone ahead and pre-made some, so I have some in this jar right here. I'm going to set this aside and let it cool, and then we'll be dipping our fruit. Okay, so we're just gonna spruce up this lemon cake with some fresh berries. I've already gone ahead and pre-washed and dried the berries. And I'm just going to take a skewer for the strawberries, go through the top, and just give it a nice little soak in the simple syrup. It's going to give it a nice shiny coat and be extra sweet. And there's 5 people in my family, so I'm doing 5 dipped strawberries. So everybody can have one with their slice. And we're just going to continue that around. Poking it through the top, dipping it straight down, dipping it just a couple times into that simple syrup. No need to get the leaves at the top coated. Nobody needs to eat those. And then the same thing, I have some blackberries. I'm gonna just dip those in as well. It's a nice little sweet coat. Arrange this. And with our simple syrup, we created this beautiful little masterpiece that we will enjoy later with our dessert. I'm just going to pick up that strawberry and add it back. I'm going to put this back into the fridge and it will be ready for us later. Okay, our second thing we're making today is a caramel sauce. And I'm going to go grab a few of the ingredients. Okay, to start our our caramel sauce, we're going to start with 1 stick of butter and we're going to melt that into a new saucepan, a new clean saucepan. And do this kind of on a medium heat, not too hot. We don't want to burn the butter as we're trying to just melt it. And today for our caramel sauce, we'll be drizzling caramel onto this chocolate muffin. My favorite thing to do with the caramel sauce, which I actually make this at home on a regular, is for drizzling over my latte or coffee in the morning. Starting to melt. Is starting to melt, I'm going to measure out 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream. And you want to have it on a flat surface, and you want to be able to be eye level to make sure you're getting an even 1/3 of a cup. And 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Brown sugar's fluffy, so you like to be able to pack that down. It's almost ready. Nice and melted. There was a couple little pieces that need to be melted. That'll be a few seconds. And then we can start adding our other ingredients. And I have this on a medium heat. heavy cream. I've made this recipe with half and half, and it comes out perfect. So if you have either of those ingredients on hand, half and half or heavy cream, they both work well. And you mix this together. Make sure to have a pot holder nearby. This can start to get a little bit too warm for your hands if you're using a metal whisk. And then once this is combined, you're going to want to keep stirring it. You don't want any hard cooked pieces at the bottom. It comes to a boil for 3 minutes. So the sides are coming to a boil right now. Won't be too long until the rest is joining. It's already looking so good. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes because we're at a boiling point. And because this is a sauce, it's going to, so the simple syrup, we just dissolved the sugar. And this is a sauce, so it's a thicker form. And so that's why it needs 3 minutes to boil. Just, for that, from syrup to sauce. I'm going to bring this down to a little bit of a lower temperature. You can see. Coming together. Smells like caramel. So caramel sauce is good for a drizzle. It could be used as a filling inside of a cupcake. It can be used as a filling inside of a cake. Just a drizzle along the edges of a chocolate cake would be delicious and beautiful. Like I said, I use it on my coffee in the morning, my homemade lattes. And just that constant stir. Make sure you're being protected. Don't burn your little hands. And we have just about 30 seconds left and our sauce is complete. Butter and cream and brown sugar. It would be good as an ice cream topping as well. If you're having dessert. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to turn off the burner. Again, I'm going to fill a mason jar with the hot liquid. Have some assistance doing this if you're a child. You don't want to be touching the jar itself because it's too hot. You could burn your hand that way. So we have a beautiful caramel sauce. I'm going to take the hot sauce and with a spoon, just coat the spoon and then just do a little drizzle. And before you take a bite of that yumminess, make sure it's cooled down enough. Little caramel drizzle. And the same thing with my coffee. To make it even a little fancier, you can take a knife and do a little design back and forth. I hope you enjoy making your simple syrup and caramel sauce, and I hope to see you all on next week's live Zoom. Bye.